Hi soulmate, welcome back again to my YouTube channel. In today's tutorial, I'll be showing us how to draft this gown you saw on my thumbnail. So if this is what you're interested in, please subscribe, like, share, comment on my YouTube channel. Without wasting no time, let's get started. I'm going to be using this pattern paper for my drafting. I've gone ahead to mark my starting line, my chest line, my bust line, my under bust, my half length. From my half length, I came down with 9 inches to mark my hip line. Also, I mark the full length, which is 45. So I've gone ahead to rule the lines and also label it. After labeling it, I divide my shoulder by 2 and mark. On my chest line, I mark my shoulder divided by 2. I came down with 1 inches for my shoulder slope and I came in with 3 inches for my neck width. I'll connect the line. From my neck depth, I came down with 3 inches for my neck depth and also rule the line. I'll go ahead to connect my shoulder line to my chest line. I divide my bust span by 2 and I'll mark it all the way to the length of my gown. So I came in with 2 inches for my dart intake. You can make yours 1.5 if you're on the big size. So I'll go ahead to rule the line down to the length of my gown. On my shoulder, I divide to get my armhole. I'll connect it to my bust dart. With my French curve, I will curve it this way. I came down with 1 inches to blend it very well and I came out with 1 inches. So this will be our new armhole dart. On my shoulder, I divide my shoulder into 2. I connect it to my neck line because as you can see, the neckline is not a basic neckline. So this is our new neck. I divide my bust by 4 and mark. I divide my under bust by 4 and mark. I divide my half length by 4 and mark. I divide my hip line. I divide it by 4 and mark plus my dart intake. I will replace it. So on my half length, I replace my dart intake. On my under bust, I replace my dart intake. With my French curve, I will go ahead to connect the dots. On my hip line, I added extra 1.5 inches. You can make it 1 inches. This is optional, but if you want it more fuller, you can add it. So what I have here is what I will place on the length of my gown. So here my hip line and the length is the same measurement. I'll go ahead to connect it this way. On my armhole, I curved it this way. I'll use my marker to highlight this line. I'll go ahead to cut it off. After cutting it off, I will set it aside and measure for my back pattern. So here is for my back pattern. I've marked my starting line. From my starting line, I marked my chest line, my half length. From my half length, I came down with 9 inches to mark my hip line. So I'll go ahead to rule the lines and also label the lines. I divide my shoulder by 2 and mark. On my chest line, I include my shoulder divided by 2 and mark. I came in with 3 inches for my neck width. And I came down with 1.5 inches for my neck depth. I came down with 1 inches for my shoulder slope, so I'll go ahead to connect the lines. I came down from my shoulder slope to my chest line. I divide my bust span by 2 and mark. I'll also mark it all the way to the length of my gown. For my dart intake, I came in on both sides with half an inch and mark it all the way to the length of my gown. I divide my bust by 4 and mark plus my dart intake going off, I place it. On my half length, I divide my half length by 4 and mark plus my dart intake going off, I place it. On my hip line, I divide my hip line by 4 and mark plus my dart intake going off, I place it. So I'll go ahead to connect the dots. So I added my extra 1.5 inches again, just as we did on the front pattern. You can also do it here. So I'll measure what I have here and place it on my gown length and use my French curve to connect it. On my armhole, I divide to get my midpoint to curve my back armhole. On my shoulder line, I divide to get my midpoint. So I came up with 1 inches from my chest line to curve my dart line. So you can decide to make your back neckline this way. You can come below the 1 inches, or you can as well take it from the divided midpoints and curve it. So here I'm going with the second option. Also, you can divide, you can make it v neckline depending on what you want. So for our that intake on the back line, I came up on both sides with half an inch and mark this line. So I came in again with half an inch to curve it down to my hip line and up to my back neckline. So just watch what I'm doing. From the hip line I came down with 6 inches, but from the upper line I just slant it that way. So I'll go ahead to cut it off. After cutting it off, I slash open the darts and tape it. So here is our snatched waistline. After that, I will go ahead to cut off the darts intake. And also remember to put your seam allowance on your fabric and your zipper allowance. On your front pattern, you cut it on fold. So I'll measure from my half length. Whatever I have there, I'll measure it on my paper down to the length of my gown. The aim is to get the side fringe. So what I have here is 28 at the down part. You can decide whatever you want depending on how big you want it. If you want to make this style now, you can get the ashoke or look for a very good Ankara material for it. So here I'll be using my free hand to cut my basic sleeve. We all know how to cut basic sleeve, but if you don't know, just tell me, I'll do a video for it. So I came down with 5 inches. You can come down with 4.5 and cut it. So here is the end of this tutorial. Please, if you find this video helpful, like, share, comment, subscribe. Thank you for watching, and I will definitely see you on my next one.